What's up everyone, CapitalClefable here, and welcome to another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle. Now, this isn't 2 for Tuesdays or Wacky Wednesdays or Monotype Mondays, even though it is a Monotype, it's not Monday, but I just want to get this battle up because I just had this battle about, 15 minutes ago, and I wanted to record it. I wish I was recording this live. If I had a capture card, I definitely would have been, you guys would have seen my reactions on the face cam and all this fun stuff, but this battle was amazing. I am working on getting a capture card. But this battle was absolutely amazing. As you can see, it was a passerby named Mike or Mickey or I don't know. He had a very OU team. I was very terrified when I saw it. I was like, oh, great. So, I was pretty scared, to be honest. I was actually pretty scared, but it ended up being a fantastic battle. So, without further ado, let's get into it. You guys can see he has a Greninja, a Thundurus in his Therian form, a Charizard, which I wasn't sure which Mega it was, but in the battle I figured it out. He has a Cofagrigus, a Terrakion, and a Sylveon, and I'm coming up with a Monotype Dark team that I had for Monotype Mondays, but I never got around to having a Monotype Monday battle because I was busy with work, so I do apologize for that, but I will have one next week, guaranteed, or your money back. So I have a Drapion, a Zoroark, a Sableye, a Weavile, a Scrafty, and a Spiritomb. So, without further ado, let's get into this awesome, awesome battle. Now, if you guys can get this video up to 40 likes for this amazing battle, that'd be awesome. That'd be incredible. I am trying to get the channel out there as much as possible. I do enjoy Wi-Fi battling. It's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna lead things off with Drapion, and he actually leads off with Sylveon. I guess expecting that he can just Moonblast things like it was nothing. But I did lead off with Drapion because I did want to get Toxic Spikes off. But as soon as I saw the Sylveon lead, I was like, huh, I can get an Agility off because I do have very good speed on this Drapion. And after the Agility, I am at +2 and I can outspeed a lot of things. However, I know the Earthquake's coming with this Terrakion after he switched in. And the only 2 stab moves I have are Night Slash, which will give Terrakion the justified boost, and Cross Poison. And even though I'm Sniper and I have a Scope Lens, it really won't do much. So I go into my defensive wall here, my Sableye. He goes for the Earthquake, which always screws my camera, and I know I can take one, plus I have the Citrus Berry. Now, he doesn't want to get Will-O-Wisped, so he actually brings out his Sylveon, because now Sableye and Spiritomb, who used to didn't have any weaknesses at all, are now weak to Berry. So expecting him to, or, I was expecting him to expect me to switch, so I stayed in and went for the Taunt as he goes for the Wish there. So it's a good play on my part. You taunted Sylveon, they really can't do much except Moonblast or Hyper Voice, whatever they want to do. He does end up going for the Moonblast, and this actually does quite a bit to my Drapion after I switched it in, because I didn't want to leave Sableye in. But I do go for the Cross Poison, and I am max attack, and I do have the Sniper and the Scope Lens, plus Cross Poison has a high critical hit ratio. So we get a crit there, not sure if it mattered. Even if it didn't, that was still pretty awesome. So Drapion getting a kill. He goes into Greninja. Now at this point, I'm pretty much just going to let Drapion die. I thought maybe he might overpredict and go for a U-turn. So I did go for the Toxic Spikes there. But he makes a good play and goes for the Scald, and down goes Drapion. At this point, I see that his Greninja is Life Orb, so I'm going to go on to Weavile. Now, I did expect him to switch, and now, since he's not a Dark type anymore, I do go for the Pursuit, knowing that I can take pretty much whatever he wants to do, barring, I guess, like the random Focus Blast. I don't even know if Greninja gets Focus Blast. So I do go for the Pursuit, but he stays in and goes for the Scald. Now, unfortunately for him, he does not get the Burn, and I am Life Orb, so this Weavile is going to do quite a bit of damage. So I go for another Pursuit. I'm able to take out the Greninja from that point, especially after the Life Orb recoil. So Weavile getting the kill. I love shiny Weavile. It looks absolutely fantastic. It looks fabulous. It looks pink and fabulous. So I go to the Terrakion, and judging on the Earthquake damage that he did on my Sableye, my Impish Max Defense, Max HP Sableye, I realized he wasn't Scarfed. So I figured, instead of the Ice Shard, I'm just going to go straight for the Ice Punch, and it works out in my favor. I do over half to this Terrakion, and I'm very proud of that damage. I was proud of that prediction, and it turns out this Terrakion is Choice Banded instead of Choice Scarfed. So at this point, I'm going to go into Scrafty. Scrafty can pretty much wall this, even if it has Close Combat or Sacred Sword, whatever it wants to go for, because I am a bulky Scrafty with Bulk Up, and as you can see right there, Bulk everywhere, and Intimidate. So he doesn't want to stay in. Besides, he was choiced into X-Scissor at that point. So I did expect to switch, and I go for a Bulk Up. Now he goes into his Cofagrigus, I guess expecting a Drain Punch maybe, so I can finish off Terrakion, but I did just go for the Bulk Up because I knew he wouldn't stay in. Now, I knew he would go for the Will-O-Wisp here, because, I mean, this is what Cofagrigus do, and then they go for Hex and all that. But I do have the Lumberry, so I'm able to heal off the burn, and now I'm at +2. And this is a fully defensive Cofagrigus, as you guys will see later on, when I go for a Poison Jab, expecting a switch. And that does a lot of damage, so Scrafty really coming in handy in this battle. Now, this has surprised me. He actually has a red card on his, Cofagrigus. It alerts me that he might have Pain Split on his Cofagrigus to get HP back, since he doesn't have leftovers or anything like that. So, obviously, it's going to drag me out into my Sableye. I don't mind taking the burn there with Sableye. I mean, its only attacking move is Foul Play, and that usually uses your own opponent's attack stat against it. So, I'm pretty good with that. Now, he does go into Charizard, expecting my Will-O-Wisp, so it's a very good play on his part. I do get residual damage from that burn. At this point, my Sableye is pretty dead in the water. I did want to save it for Terrakion, but he played around it very well, and, you know, I couldn't really get off the Will-O-Wisp on Terrakion, so I'm just going to go for the Taunt here, because at this point, I kind of figured out, but with the Greninja, it's probably going to be Charizard X, and I didn't want him to Dragon Dance, so at this point I'm going to sacrifice my Sableye, let him get some recoil damage from the Flare Blitz, and taunt him so he can't Dragon Dance. Now I'm going to go into my my Scrafty, because I do have the Intimidate, and like I said, I can just bulk up all day and then Drain Punch to get my HP back. So there's the Intimidate, he's at -1 now. So he's pretty, if you hear the rain in the background, I live in Florida, so it's pouring. But he does go into the Cofagrigus as I bulk up. Now, I figured at +1, a Poison Jab should be able to kill this Cofagrigus. But I guess I did my calculations wrong, or I, I don't know. I just went for the Poison Jab, expecting it to kill it in case he switched into Terrakion, because I didn't want to go for the Crunch so he can get his Justified boost, but it really sucks and really does not work out in my favor. My Intimidate turns into Mummy. I do get the Poison, so I guess that's the silver lining in all of this, but he's able to get the Will-O-Wisp off, and since I have Intimidate instead of Shed Skin, and my Lumberry's already used up, the Scrafty's pretty much dead in the water. It can take some hits still, and then retaliate with Drain Punch, so I'm going to leave it in at this point. It is still at full HP, it takes some residual damage there, but it's close enough. He goes into Charizard, and even though I'm at -1 attack now because of the bulk up, I'm still at +1 defense, so I'm almost positive I can take a few of these Flare Blitz, especially with my EV spread. And this is a really good play on my part, because I did keep him in, because I remembered I had the Mummy, and now Charizard's Tough Claws are going to turn into Mummy, meaning he loses that 30% boost. And I'm going to be able to go for a Drain Punch. I do get a crit here. It didn't really matter in the long run, to be honest. But I guess it mattered because I got some more HP back. But that it didn't really matter. That crit didn't really matter too much. So he's going to withdraw because he doesn't have the Tough Claws ability anymore. And he knows that he's just going to sit there and take recoil while I fire back with Drain Punch. And I'm just going to keep going for Drain Punch just to get some HP back. He goes into his Thunderous Therian form, which is the first time we saw this, and it takes respectable damage from a -1 Drain Punch. So it was resisted, so I'm pretty happy with that damage, to be honest. Now it does put me in range for my Zoroark to come in later on and kill it off with a Dark Pulse, because I do have max, I'm timid with max special attack, max speed. I do have the Wise Glasses on my Zoroark, so I can switch between moves. And I can use Nasty Plot as well. So I go into Spiritomb here, because Spiritomb is my special wall. And I expected him to switch here, because he was obviously locked into Focus Blast. He was probably Choice Specs. So he couldn't really do anything. So I'm just going to go straight for the Dark Pulse, expecting Charizard to come in. Because I do have Toxic. I don't think he wanted his Terrakion Toxic. So that's a really, really good move on my part. I'm able to kill off the Charizard. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, he does go for the Volt Switch here. This was an excellent play on his part. And I didn't really know what to go for. I was going to go for the Pain Split or maybe the Toxic, but I did decide to go for the Dark Pulse. And this was a bad move on my part because he does bring in Terrakion, and Terrakion is at +1, and he's Choice Banded. And I was pretty much convinced that I lost the battle at this point. So at this point, let me pause the video real quick, and we'll come right back. Okay, so like I was saying, at this point, his Terrakion is at +1 because of the Justified boost, and he's Choice Banded, and he's just gonna straight up go for the Earthquake and kill off my Spiritomb. Now, I have one Pokemon left, Zoroark. Now, if Terrakion, Earthquake would not, I don't think it would have killed Zoroark, and he might have been expecting me to be Focus Sashed. But this switch here on a Terrakion, I'd be really suspicious that this Terrakion wasn't Choice Scarfed, but was indeed Choice banded, in which case I can easily outspeed, and if I can land a Focus Blast, I can kill it. So he switches into his Thunderous there. I'm able to kill it off with a Dark Pulse because I know I can outspeed it. And then at this point, I'm like, yes, please land Focus Blast, and we charge it up, and I'm able to knock out the Terrakion. His Terrakion ended up being Adamant instead of Jolly with a choice Band instead of a choice Scarf. So that's what won me the battle. The Focus Blast didn't miss, and I was very, very grateful for that. So Zoroark really came in handy at the end there. That's why I was kind of saving him for later, just in case his Terrakion was Adamant, and based on that damage done to my Sableye earlier, I kind of had a suspicion that he was Adamant. So I was very, 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 very pleased with this battle. Thank you so much, Micke or Mike, whatever your name is, I don't know, for this battle. Passerby, this was a Passerby, by the way, guys. It was a great battle. It was very, it gave me chills. I had my heart pumping this entire time. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Our like goal or whatever is going to be at 40 likes. Hopefully we can get to that. I will be posting a lot more content as the days go by, and I will be working on getting a capture card. You know, college, I gotta pay off my college courses first, guys. That's a little bit more important. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to leave your comments down below in the comment section, and I will see you all next time. Have a capital day. This is CapitalClefable, and I'm out. Bye, guys.